Hi guys, how are we today? I just want to welcome everybody back to my podcast. This is Life from M's perspective. If you haven't had the opportunity to listen to my previous podcast, may I please encourage you to go and tune in and listen to a different topics that I've done in the past or recently. So today I'm not going to take long. I'm just going to jump straight into the topic. But today's topic is a little bit different compared to what I would do. I feel like every time I do a podcast, I'm always saying that it's a bit different. But this is something dear to my heart that I'm going to talk about. And this is something that's been bothering me actually for quite a while. I usually tend to run away from this type of topic, or I usually tend to not really express what I feel or what I think about this matter in general, although I follow along really deep and I keep myself updated every now and then. So as you all might be aware, in the previous podcast I was talking about M23 and how the war or the conflict that's currently happening in DRC Congo, it's not about mulenge, so which is to an extent, which is I do still believe in that, and it's about liberating Congo in general, not just the umunyamulenge. But this time this topic is actually touchy, and this is actually more, I'm gonna be unapologetically saying things that I would really not care what everybody thinks or what some people might think about what I'm about to say, because usually we tiptoe on certain topics and we tiptoe on certain things or certain opinions so that we don't offend other people. But again, when they're busy offending us, we just swallow it as if we're swallowing a glass of water, and that's not going to cause any harm or anything like that, as if we're swallowing something healthy when it's not. So today I'm just going to talk about my people. I'm going to talk about my people. I'm going to talk about them so proudly, and I'm going to acknowledge and also talk about the hate that we've been receiving. This is actually a topic that I've never ever touched. I'm not going to go deep into facts because I believe that there's people who probably know more than I do. This is just something that's going to be stemming from my opinion and from what I'm feeling and from what I believe that I've never really put forward in this type of way. So first of all, I would like to say my condolences kuri umunyamulenge wese. Wherever you are, I just want to say I'm sorry for the loss of somebody so important that we've all lost. Makanika. I'm just going to say sorry. I know the whole nation is currently mourning. I know that it's not been easy and it's not going to be easy. But there's something I really learned about this person, this hero person that just passed away. Well, they're not referring him to this way, but for me, I'm just feeling somebody who's done a heroic actions and who's actually given up all his life so he can serve his own people, so that he can fight for his people. And as many of you may know, or some of you might pretend that you don't want to know, is the fact that umunyamulenge have been patronized for years. They've been persecuted for decades. They've been denied basic human rights for centuries. So I just want to say how proud I am quando umunyamulenge. I just want to say how proud I am that I am umunyamulenge. Okay, I might have not grown up over there. I might have not been born umunyamulenge or where my people are currently suffering at. But I am proud to be known as umunyamulenge, and I'm really, really happy that M-Sadika, who's currently passed away, has actually penetrated something so deep into our hearts, so deep into the people, into our nation of umunyamulenge, to make us understand the importance and how beautiful and how prideful it is to be umunyamulenge. But most importantly, I want to talk to the youth. I want to talk to the youth of umunyamulenge. The thing about us, umunyamulenge, Changwe, the thing about what we've allowed the world to do is belittle us. We've allowed the world to belittle us. We've allowed the world's opinion to echo more than our opinion. We've allowed the world to actually make us feel guilty about who we are. We've allowed the world to deem us incompetent. We've allowed the world to hold their opinion above our opinion, as if we can't speak for ourselves, as if we don't feel, as if we can't react. And I just want to encourage every youth out there, you need to stop. The same way I read something that I read on Instagram, and it's been trending amongst umunyamulenge. Whoever wrote that being involved in politics for umunyamulenge is not politics but survival, it actually hit. It just hit hard. It's not, and this person is correct. Okay, saying that I don't want to be involved in politics when umunyamulenge, it's my personal opinion. This is my point of view, is saying that you're denying yourself to be umunyamulenge, and you're accepting that bene wanyu abanyamulenge bakomeze bicwe. You're accepting that you want abanyamulenge to be wiped from the face of the world. You're accepting persecution. You're accepting for us to be denied the basic human rights. Because if we say politics, I don't feel like when it comes to abanyamulenge, politics is existence. It's not, because we've been denied all that. So when we're fighting, we've been revoked of our citizenship. We've been revoked of every right that you could possibly think about. We've been persecuted for who we are. We've been persecuted for our features. We've been persecuted for so many different things that I can't even name them and finish them. So when you say that you don't want to get involved in politics, that's you saying that you do not want to advocate for your own people who are being killed, who are being murdered, who genocides are being held against them just because of who they are. So you're saying that you're denying them the rights they deserve. You're also playing amongst the perpetrators who are trying to take away their identity from them to do what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, in the face of social media right now, we need to accept that hashtags do work. We need to accept that if you don't stand up and raise your voice and say something about the injustice that your people are facing, or anywhere if I would generalize it. But at this moment, I'm just focusing on my people. I'm focusing on umunyamulenge. I don't care. I'm sick and tired of wanting to be cool with the hate that we're receiving. I'm sick and tired of speaking up for other people, and I'm sick and tired of trying to protect other people's feelings so that my people can continue to suffer in whatever they're suffering. I'm sick of allowing other people to tell me to defend their rights, defend their human rights, as if they're the only ones who are entitled, but my people are not entitled. And the most thing that annoys me, or that actually makes me sad, is the fact that people want to be so in denial. They want to actually be so blind. They don't even want to be blind. They're actually holding blindfolds and they're just wrapping them on their face intentionally, on their eyes, so that they don't see the reality of what's happening to umunyamulenge. This is something that's been going on for decades. It's like you're trying to deny the fact that umunyamulenge were persecuted for decades. You're denying the fact that the facts that are in front of you, that are presented in front of you, their citizens being revoked simply just for who they are, for something that they did not choose, for the fact that when colonialism occurred, they did not choose colonialism to occur. It happened. Move on and get over it. But do you know who can't move on and get over it? Is umunyamulenge, whose rights have been denied simply because of what colonialism caused. And people want to sit there and tell us that the Gatumba genocide did not happen. They want to tell us that the conflict in 1998, 1996, conflict in 2017, and even more conflicts in the past that were merely executed so that they can actually kill umunyamulenge. So people want to tell us that we are always victimizing ourselves, and we as umunyamulenge want to fall for that trap, especially the youth who just want to sit there, enjoy this act, and also play as the perpetrators and join them in telling you that you need to stop playing victim, and you're also allowing them to overpower their feelings and project it on you, and you're falling for that trap. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that other nations are not going through bad things. I'm not saying that they're not going through terrible things, but I don't think any of you is going through what we've been going through for decades. Yes, some of you have gone through that, but it's past, and you've been liberated, and you've been able to fight for your rights, and you've actually accomplished it. But for how long are people going to actually sit there and say that you can't see the massacre, you can't see the injustice that these certain people, who are umunyamulenge, by the way, are facing? I don't even know what to call this anymore. Self-determination, like denial of like the country. I don't know what to call this anymore. I really don't. But it's getting to me to a point where now, with no filter, I'm tired of protecting the feelings, protecting the image, and defending your nation, defending your people, when you can't even defend my own people. So when I defend my people, you attack me. But when you defend your people, you don't want me to attack you. You want me to defend them along with you. So you want us, you want umunyamulenge, you want me as umunyamulenge to to actually sympathize with you, sympathize with your people, sympathize with what's happening to your nation, to your country, to your whatever. But you cannot sympathize with what's happening to my people. That's evidence. It's evident that it's there, it's happening to them. But you want to tell me that it's not happening just because you lack so much information, or just because you've decided to turn a blind eye on it, so you also want me to turn a blind eye on what I can see. If I can't turn a blind eye on your people, why would you expect me to turn a blind eye on my people? Why can't we all just live in harmony? Why can we all just be accepted? Because at the end of the day, none of us, and I will always repeat this, none of us chose to be born where we are. I didn't choose to be born umunyamulenge, but I am proud to be one. You didn't choose to be born as a Mubembe, but you were born one. You didn't choose to be born as a Musudani, but you were born one. Name whatever nations or nationalities you want to name, or ethnicity or tribes. You didn't, but you were. So should I hate you for that? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna hate you for that. So why are you hating on me for that? For what God has purposely made? Why are you hating me for what God has orchestrated, created? He made me into this person. He made me into this nationality. He made me into this ethnicity group, into this tribe. So you hating me, are you saying that you're hating the creation of God? That you questioning what God has created? Are you questioning God himself? Why are we expected to mourn you, to mourn your loss, but you can't mourn our loss? Why are we expected to understand that what occurred to you is genocide and what occurred to us is just victimization? Why? I'm actually really sad right now. It's not like I'm sad in a way, but I'm just really I don't know what to describe this moment right now, because I've never really felt so speechless, but at the same time wanting to actually deliver a message for my people, for umunyamulenge. And from now on, I just want to encourage you. Screw it. Screw feeling bad for them. Screw feeling bad for other nationalities. Screw feeling bad for anybody else who will not sit back and sympathize with you. Screw it. Don't turn a blind eye on your own people so you can be able to sit on the same table with those people. Don't turn a blind eye on your own people. Don't shy away from defending your own people so that you can be able to be in the same team with them, so that when you go to register for a sport team, you're not turned back because the majority in that team is them. Don't. Hold your head up high and just be proud to be umunyamulenge. Be proud to unapologetically advocate for your people without looking at the fact that you advocating for your own is hurting other people's feelings. It can be hurt because They did not, and they don't. They don't care about what's happening to you. They don't care about what's happening to your grandparents, to your cousins, to your family members back home. Why should you? Stop trying to be a hero for other nations, but unable to be the same for your own. Stop trying to maintain an image for the public when you're not able to actually do anything for your own people. Stop. It's not cool. It's not. I was born, I'm not old. Trust me, guys, I am not that old, and I'm also not that young. But one thing I can tell the youth, it's not cool. You think not being part of this, you think not advocating for your own people is not cool. Do you know what's not cool? It's actually you being quiet and being silent. You thinking that celebrating celebrities, knowing 100 songs of different singers in the universe, and you being able to name 500 soccer players and knowing who's scored what, who's lost what game is more cool than going ahead and learning more about your own people, or you thinking that a certain soccer team has actually scored, or footy team, or a celebrity has, getting involved in celebrities' personal life, and you find it cool to post it on your social media, but you find it uncool to post about your own people on social media. You find it uncool to advocate for injustice that's happening to your own people. That's not cool. It would be more cool if you are proud and if you are able to actually unapologetically and unashamed and embarrassed post and advocate for those who matter. And no one will ever matter to you. The world will tell you otherwise, but no one is ever important more than your own. Nobody. That's why when you're facing these backfires, and when you're facing these clashes of other nationalities or other tribes, other ethnicity groups telling you that you guys are going out of hand and you're taking things out of context, don't allow that be your reality when you already know your reality, because they're speaking from their point of view. They're speaking for their own people. They're advocating for their own people. They're fighting for their own. And in order to fight for their own, they have to prove you that your own are not worth it. And don't allow that. Don't. If they can't sympathize with you, or empathize with you, or advocate for you, or turn a blind eye and be so in denial and pretend that the reality is not reality anymore, why should you? Why should you? So, this is just a simple podcast for my fellow umunyamulenge, and for anybody else who wants to hear from a young voice of umunyamulenge of how we've been impacted and we've been affected for decades from our personal point of view, then please, because stop listening to us through the voice of other nationality, other tribes, other ethnicity. Stop judging us from what you hear from them. Stop stop jumping to conclusion and stop trying to project what they're going through onto us, trying to belittle us and trying to make us feel guilty and feel bad for what we are going through. We're going through the same, or maybe we're even going through the worst. Take your time and stop being so in denial, and stop turning a blind eye, and stop listening to one-sided story, and try to actually find out more about somebody you're about to judge, about a nationality, tribe, ethnicity group you're about to judge. Ask them. And then if you don't believe it, there's always information on the internet for you. And if you also don't believe that, find experts who are going to help you understand. But stop judging us just because your friend is of that tribe or nationality that disagrees that we're going through genocides and we're going through persecution on a daily basis, and you want to call us that we're victimizing ourselves. Just stop. Because what you know nothing about, and a one-sided story is never a full story. So maybe try to dig deeper and find out more, and maybe you will understand the struggle, the injustice, and how fair the system has been to umunyamulenge. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you're also going through the same. Today's not that day. I'm so sorry. Today's all about me. It's all about umunyamulenge. It's all about who I am and where I come from, where my parents come from, where my grandparents come from. It's all about them. And it's all about the next generation too. And the generations that will come. Today's not that day where I'm going to sit down and be like, let me pretend and be like, I want to speak up for you. I don't. I really don't this time. Because I think my people have suffered enough and have been through enough for us to just keep advocating for you. I think we've said enough for you. I think it's about time we speak for us. So, once again, pole to all umunyamulenge who are going through grief right now for losing someone so important. However, I just want to encourage every single person. What he died for, let us not also forget it. As proud as he was to fight for his own, as proud as he was to claim his identity and fight for it. Today I also challenge you to be proud and to be prideful and stop hiding behind other nationality and stop hiding behind other tribes and other ethnicities. Stop. You're more than enough. As umunyamulenge, you're more than enough. Just know that. And you're beautiful. You're lovely. And honestly, you're the smartest person in the universe and the most disciplined person in the universe. So don't don't feel like this time speaking out that you're being heartless. You're actually protecting so many lives that you would not even think about. So speak out and fight for your own people. Fight for your own. Just like they say like you gotta fight your own battles because nobody else is gonna fight your battles for you. That's the same way. As umunyamulenge, you gotta fight your battle of recognizing who you are and being proud to be that person, and fight your battles, umunyamulenge, and unapologetically advocate for your people. Because as much as they're fighting their battles, they're not gonna come fight your battles for you. They're advocating for their people. They're not gonna come and advocate for yours. Sympathize, but in the midst of trying to sympathize and empathize with others, don't forget about your own. Thank you for listening to M's perspective, and I hope this podcast brings something different to the table that will encourage you to never shy away from who you are and from who God has created you to be. And also it helps you to find a balance between when it's time to stay quiet and when it's not. Thank you for listening, guys. I promise this was actually not the podcast. I actually recorded a podcast last Friday for today, but it's like maybe God wanted me to post this one, so I guess that one will come out later, but I'm glad I did this one. So thanks once again, guys, and remember, this is life from M's perspective and it's not yours. You can agree to disagree, which at this stage doesn't faze me as much because I'm going to stick to what I said. So I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you. Take care.